Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be just doing some chill drawings in my sketchbook. I'm going to be using my sketchbook of my collaboration with Archer and Olive. We just really love this paper for markers. And yeah, we're going to be doing marker portraits today. As you probably saw in the title, I'm going to be using my new Arteza EverBlend markers. I got them a few months ago, as you guys might recall from the video I did reviewing them. But yeah, I've been a really big fan of these recently, so let's get right into it. I've just been really enjoying doing just random portrait studies in my sketchbook recently. It's been my go-to chill time and just relaxing drawing, I guess. I'm also using this Faber Castell Polychromo red pencil to do the line art for all of these. As you can see, I did the sketches beforehand from the day before, and yeah, just gonna be basically lining all of these beautiful portraits and then going over them with markers. If you guys have been here on the channel for a while, you'll recognize this as sort of my go-to process for using markers and even watercolors and basically a lot of traditional mediums. I just really love lining stuff with a red pencil, whether it be this Faber Castell Polychromo or the Courier's pencil in crimson red. I really enjoy the look that it gives after you color it in with whatever medium you're using, and it just has that sort of reddish tint to the line art underneath. I personally just prefer it to using a black pencil, but yeah, that's pretty much why I'm doing this. So yeah, that was the first portrait. I just started off with something a little simple, just a beautiful girl with some curly hair, nice little afro. And then for the second one, I was feeling like something a little bit more magical, more mystical. So she's got a bit more of a magic flair to her, I guess. And I didn't make these very hard for myself. I've just been enjoying doing stuff that I feel comfortable doing, because I've been so busy with work that when I do have time to sit down and draw, it's kind of like I'm already exhausted and I don't really feel like doing anything crazy with my art, which is why a lot of these portraits are kind of just easy stuff, just cool easy stuff that makes me happy to do. And it's kind of like mindless work, which is what I enjoy. For example, when I was doing these portraits, I just had Wareham High School Host Club in the back, which is another comfort show of mine, and it was just a really nice relaxing time, which is kind of getting me back into doing art as self-care. I recently have forgotten to do that. Considering I do art as my job, it's easy to forget that art is also my little self-care activity. So I've been trying to get back into doing that. This third little portrait is again just a cute person and I took inspiration from my own jewelry that I love. There's this little sword dagger earring that I have that I really love, and also the new mullet trend that's been going around. Thought I'd do sort of a kind of a mullet, I guess, on this cute person, and yeah, they just look really cool, and I wanted to draw someone that looked really sick and cool and awesome. Kind of honestly went in without any expectations in terms of color or I just wanted to, as I said, sit down and do something nice and relaxing and comfy. I just thought up all of these little characters and portraits and stuff, and I was very excited to just kind of go with the flow, just look at what colors I had and which ones I felt like using in the moment, which is again not something I'm very used to doing. I feel like every time I sit down, I've got sort of a plan. I don't usually just sit down and see what happens. I usually do that more in my Sketch With Me videos. Those are usually very on the fly. This fourth character is actually an OC of mine that I've started drawing like a few months ago. I haven't really fleshed out her story yet. So her name is Ophelia, and she has like a little companion. She's like, I guess, kind of a little witch, and she has a little bat companion, and I don't know. I just think she's really cool, and I drew her like a bunch of times, and I feel like I always keep coming back to drawing her. So I thought I'd do a cute little smiley portrait of her in this video too, and kind of introduce you guys to her a little bit. And yeah, this last one is just a very typical like kind of anime boy. Yeah, he's gonna have like a bunch of scars, and he's got this moody look to him, and later on when I do the markers and color him in, he's gonna have like white hair, so he's gonna be that stereotypical like mysterious anime character that has a troubled past. I don't know, I just really wanted to draw like a really moody character for this last one, and kind of, yeah, have him really not fit in with the rest of the characters, I guess. And yeah, drawing a boy once in a while, you know? It's fun. And with that was pretty much all of the lining done. So I just went ahead and erased all of the graphite pencil lines from the original little sketching and went in with my markers. So this is honestly the most satisfying part, is like coloring in your first little sketch after lining it. It's just so like, yeah, it's very exciting. Now that we're going into the markers thing, I thought I'd just have a little chat with you guys about what's been going on. There's a lot of stuff has been happening, and I feel like I haven't told anyone here about it much. Yeah, you'll probably find a lot more of my updates on my social media, like in my Instagram and stuff. But yeah, I have actually been working on some really cool projects recently, including this book that's coming out in May. I didn't write it, but I should clarify, but I did the book cover for it, and it was very, very exciting. It's for like a young adult children's novel. It's very, very cool, written by Jasmine Richards, an amazing author. And yeah, so I'm very excited for that. It's coming out in May, so if you guys would like to check out a little bit more about that, I'll leave links down there in the description for you guys to see a bit more about that. And yeah, so I've been working a lot on the content for like promoting the book, and just working on stuff for the publishing team. Yeah, it was my first book cover that I've done, and so I was very, very excited, and it's definitely like reminded me of how much I just want to do a lot more illustration stuff this year. Very excited for what this year will bring. And speaking of exciting projects this year, I'm gonna spoil a little something. Yeah, I'm actually launching a Patreon next month. Yeah, very exciting. I've been mulling over and over for months now whether or not I should have a Patreon, or whether or not I should launch one, because I've been wanting to launch a Patreon for so long, and I kept pushing it, and yeah, I'll think about that later, because I've been very busy, you know, and I always felt like launching a Patreon and having a Patreon would just overcharge me with work, and I would just burn out immediately. But yeah, all I had to do really was have a sit down and kind of reorganize my schedule and my life, and realize that if I do feel a bit overwhelmed with Patreon, I'll have to just compensate and do some less other stuff, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's something that I really, really, really want to do. So it's something that I don't mind having to compensate with doing less of other projects, so that I can have more time for the Patreon. So over the past few weeks, I've just been doing all the bits and bobs, and just setting up my Patreon and getting all the little admin things sorted out, so that it's all ready to launch on the 1st of March. This is, I think, the first time I'm mentioning it. So yeah, I hope this excites you. I hope you guys are looking forward to it, because I really, really, really am. There's some really exciting things that I'm working on for it, and I honestly cannot wait to like show you guys everything that I've been doing. It's really like reminded me of that really cool feeling when you're very, very, very excited for a new project, and I'm just very looking forward to it. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on a lot recently, just setting up my Patreon, getting everything ready, and making sure that everything else in my life is like properly scheduled in order for me to not feel overwhelmed with this new endeavor, really. Sorry, my camera like decided to stop filming without telling me for the second half of that first portrait, so sorry about that. You're just gonna have to kind of move into the second one swiftly, which is this very cute magical girl. I really like the colors that I picked for her. I wanted to do something a little bit more colorful, so I ended up just giving her like really cool purple hair. Yeah, you guys will see. Yeah, I don't know, I've just felt so inspired recently to draw and do just so much more art. I don't know if it's because I'm just so excited about this new Patreon thing that I'm doing, or I'm just so inspired by the recent illustration projects that I'm working on. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm very, very like just feeling very inspired and happy recently. I'm also in a relationship now, which is very different and exciting and strange, but also so lovely. So I guess that might have something to do with it as well. If you guys follow me on Instagram or anything, you will know about that. But yeah, I haven't really spoken much about it here on YouTube. It's just all very, very lovely, and yeah, just not to flex, but I wanted to come on here and just chat about how excited and happy I am about everything, and just do some cool art. But yeah, with this Patreon, it's probably going to launch on the 1st of March, and I'm obviously going to be, in the next coming days, going to be talking about it a lot on my Instagram and my Twitter, you know, giving everyone just a basic rundown and breakdown of everything that's going to be on there, so you guys can start deciding whether or not you'd like to support me on there. Yeah, basically follow me on my socials if you don't, to find out more and more about this new Patreon thing as I divulge more about it. But yeah, I do want to say, like, I don't want anyone to worry about me doing less of this kind of stuff that I'm already doing. I didn't want my Patreon to be something where I would have to take away from my audience in general in order to make it exclusive content for my Patreon. So I just don't want anyone to worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to move specifically and exclusively to Patreon, so you won't have to worry about that. I'm still going to be posting my usual videos on YouTube, still going to be posting as usual on Instagram and Twitter, etc. It's just going to be that there's going to be some new and exciting stuff on Patreon that will be exclusive for that. And yeah, March is just going to be a very exciting month. I'm very, very looking forward to it. It's going to be very busy, but very exciting. I've got a really cool animation awards ceremony that I'm going to for an animation that I worked on last year. It's been nominated, so that's going to be really fun, because it's also going to be in Leeds, where I went to university. And I'm just going to be able to see a lot of my old university friends, and it's just so exciting. I'm very looking forward to it. And then I'm also going to Paris with Devon. I'm very, very looking forward to that. We haven't gone on like a trip, like just the two of us, in gosh, so long. I mean, actually we went back home. Devon came with me to Portugal last year, but it didn't feel like a trip to me because I was just going home. So I'm very excited to go exploring and just being a tourist. It's going to be very lovely. We're going to go to see a lot of museums and just eat a lot of good food. So if anyone has any cool recommendations for like coffee shops and basically really good food that we should check out, definitely let me know in the comments here on my Instagram. If you have any cool Paris recommendations, some insider intel, that would be greatly appreciated. And then I'm also going home to Portugal to see my family next month, so that's going to be lovely. It's going to be my sort of last trip home before I take my new partner home to visit, so that's going to be very new and definitely going to be an experience. I'm nervous but excited for him to meet my family and everyone. But I'm just going home to kind of be with my family for a bit before that. So that will be really nice. And it'll be just a really nice opportunity for me to, again, just sit down and focus on doing art for myself. I feel like when I'm working here in Manchester, I'm always working on, you know, what can I monetize? What can I make? You know, what can I do for the next YouTube video? What can I do for this? And when can I do the sketches for this thing and this other project? But I feel like while I'm home, I kind of force myself to take it easy and chill out. So I just feel a lot more quote unquote allowed to draw for myself. And I feel like that's when I get my best sort of ideas and I create a lot of my favorite pieces is when I'm at home. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Lots of cool, fun stuff. And it's also going to be, obviously, my Patreon will launch at the beginning of March. So it's going to be my first month of actually using my Patreon and connecting with you guys. Small little spoiler about the Patreon while we're here, there's going to be a Discord server that I have been working very hard on. I'm a very passive Discord user, so I've been really like putting my boyfriend to work, helping me with the Discord stuff, because I was so lost trying to set up my server and making it like appeasing, and it's got, you know, art feedback channels, and you can like send artwork to each other, and I'll be giving artwork feedback and support some days. I'm just spoiling a lot of things today, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. So it's gonna be a very interesting first trial month of doing Patreon. So for this portrait, I had a lot of fun, as you can tell, with the makeup and everything. I just really wanted to make her look as like celestial and magical as possible. So I did this cute little face art on her, and she's got that little star on her head. Yeah, she just looks so cute, doesn't she? I'm so obsessed with her design. I'm probably gonna draw out that whole style that I gave her in a proper drawing at some point, because I really want to make it into a full illustration. I really enjoyed how it turned out. So for this third portrait, I decided to again go with some quite like bold colors. I just felt like I had neglected a lot of my really bold markers, like the bold colors, and I just wanted to explore the whole range of markers that I had from Arteza, the EverBlend set, because they sent me so many lovely markers, and I feel like I've only scratched the surface of how many lovely colors I've got. So yeah, I've just been trying to slowly but surely implement more and more color into these like little marker illustrations and try and use all of them as much as possible. I didn't show you guys in this video, but I do have like a swatch page for all of my Arteza EverBlend markers. I just had it next to me so I could have a bit of a guide for all the colors that I have. It's not a proper one, so I might at some point do like a proper actually like grid sheet with like the numbers and everything, because the one that I have is just like a very quick swatch that I did the first time I used them. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing me just doing a swatch page for these in a video. Ooh, speaking of like new projects, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but I am working on a very, very cool secret project that I haven't actually showed on any social media whatsoever. And I don't want to spoil it yet, but it will probably have a Kickstarter once I like properly finish it and everything. So it's a pretty big project, and it's very different from anything I've done so far. So I'm very excited for you guys to see it, and I'm very excited to like start mentioning it in general, because I didn't want to spoil too much about this project. I wanted to keep it under wraps until I have the visuals and like the final product to showcase with you guys. Again, not to tease, but you probably won't hear anything about it until the Kickstarter launches. So, and that's probably going to be a few months because it's quite a big project. But yeah, I just wanted to tease a little bit. It's going to be so cool. I'm very looking forward to this. I've been doing it just kind of in my free time at the moment. Whenever I've got downtime, I'm just kind of like slowly cracking away at it. So many cool projects this year. I feel so blessed that this year I have all this time to like crack into all of these projects that I've been putting to the side over the past few years. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but I'm also using my Arteza Fineliners, my colored Fineliners. They're 0.4 millimeters. If you've seen literally any marker video of mine on this channel, you'll see that I always use these in cooperation with whatever markers I'm using, but they do work so lovely with the Arteza EverBlend markers. So this video is just me being an Arteza stan, because yeah, I have like a huge set of them. They have so many colors, so I love doing colored line art on top of my markers with them, and it just looks just so pretty and graphic. And yeah, I've been using those in all of these portraits as well. Just a big Arteza fan, to be honest, recently. These markers and these Fineliners, they kind of like, yeah, they just make things very effortless, and they just make drawing a very enjoyable activity. And I should have mentioned this when I was doing that other portrait, but I'm also using my Archer and Olive Acrylograph pen in white to add all of these little final details. Again, if you've seen literally any video of mine, you know that I just absolutely go feral for these pens, the acrylographs, especially this white one, for adding details in my art. It is so perfect. So obviously I'm using it here. I literally always carry about like 3 of these in my pencil case because they're just perfect. So yeah, just adding all of these highlights, these very intense highlights here, and making the drawing look like a drawing at the end. It's my favorite part, is adding all of these very intense highlights and the very intense dark bits and the shadows. So I'm using this Faber Castell pencil in black just to add all of these really intense contrasting areas, because I'm always really self-conscious of like my paintings and my drawings looking too flat. So over the past few months I've been really trying to work on my values and making sure that the colors that I use and the contrast that I use like really make my artwork look three-dimensional. Yeah, it just makes it more appeasing, I guess. So next up for my Ophelia portrait, I was very excited to color her in. I haven't done like a proper colored version of her yet. Like in my head I knew exactly what colors I wanted everything to be for her character design, but I've never actually sat down and just drew her out. So this was super exciting for me, super fun. So she's got this beautiful like dark blue hair. And I didn't really have the perfect color that I wanted in the markers, but it's meant to be a mixture between dark blue and black. So it's like this sort of petrol color. But yeah, so if you can just use your imagination there for a little bit. And she's got these really cute star earrings that she like never takes off, and I think they look so cute. Oh, and also she's got this really cool like hair dye situation going on, like the front bits, like, the TikTok hair that everyone started having where the front bits are like bleached. Yeah, she's got that, and I just really love it. Like my little sister did this hairstyle a few months ago, and I just thought it looked so cool, so I've just been thinking about that forever, and I kind of wanted to do that for a bit, but because I've got super curly hair, I'm always really scared of bleaching it. So I definitely didn't do it on myself. So when I can't do something on myself, I just create a character that has that feature, and that sort of takes the itch out of me. I didn't want to bleach my hair, so I just drew out a character that had the hairstyle. So welcome to my world. So yeah, she's also very smiley and just like a really like cheeky person. So I just wanted to kind of represent that in this little portrait of her. She's just so sweet, but kind of like batty, you know what I mean? I didn't draw her little bat familiar, but I probably will at some point soon. I've only done like little sketches of him, so I haven't really fleshed him out enough to actually show anyone yet. I also don't know what to call the bat. yet, so if you've got any like name recommendations that you think would suit a little bat familiar, let me know. I'll have a look at your suggestions. Maybe something will spark my interest. But yeah, I again went in with my little Fineliners here and just outlined basically all of her hair and her main features, and tried to use later on you'll see I'll try to use like a darker, sort of more muted dark blue for her hair to try and turn it into that petrol-y color that I was trying to go for. Still, I don't think I got it perfectly right, but next time I'll definitely get it right for sure. Oh, and she wears this really cute like mesh starry top a lot. That was kind of like the first thing that I drew her in, and I think it suited her so much. So she's got like a cool, like, you know, bralette sort of top underneath, and then she wears this really cool sheer like mesh top over the top with some stars, and she's just so cute. I also gave her some little cute hearts on her cheeks because I thought it suited her. Of course, couldn't go without adding all of my super highlights with my Archer and Olive Acrylograph, and I just wanted to make her earrings really pointy and make them look like really pointy stars. And finally, we're on our last little portrait for the video, and it's this really cool looking anime boy character. I'm very excited about this one as well because I don't draw boys that often, if you guys haven't noticed. So I've been trying to draw boys more and more, as you've probably noticed from the past few months and the past year. And I've actually started enjoying drawing boys a lot more. No, granted, they are like very, you know, sort of femme boys, which are my favorite type of boy, my favorite ones in all the shows that I watch. So I don't know, I just really love feminine attributes and like presenting characters. So that's just my preferred subject, so, you know, sue me. But yeah, I've been trying to draw boys a lot more just because I have been going for like this very graphic-y style, and of course, you know, boys typically have like more, you know, straight lines in their designs and more like cuts and, you know, sharp jawlines, etc. So it's fun once in a while to change around my lines and my strokes and make them look a lot more sharp, I guess. It's just fun. So yeah, he's got this really cool like gray hair, and yeah, he's just pretty cool looking, honestly. I wouldn't want to like cross him, but he's still got like a cute little baby face, you know, because I can't draw anyone serious looking, I guess. I actually ended up trying to do some like bruises on his face a little bit, because obviously he's like all beat up, you know, he's got all these scars and stuff, so I wanted him to like have some bruises on his face. So I did that later on, and it was, you know, it was a very spur of the moment kind of thing where I was like, I'm gonna add bruises onto this almost finished piece, and it didn't go too bad. So now that we're getting to the end, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant about my life. It's been a very self-indulgent voiceover. I'm sorry if that's not your vibe, but I just wanted to have a little like catch up and just giving you guys a bit of a rundown of what's been happening in my life, because I feel like I haven't said much of that on here. And yeah, I'm so excited about all these new projects that I'm going to be working on this year. If you guys want to stay up to date with that, I post most often on my Instagram. So give me a follow on there if you'd like to stay up to date with my current projects. And obviously my Patreon is launching next month, as I've pretty much announced in this video. So hopefully I'll have some more information for you guys very soon. And I hope everyone is having a really lovely time. I hope everyone's feeling happy and taking care of themselves and staying healthy. Just adding in the last few bits and bobs here, I also wanted to do just some cute little color doodles around these characters. I just really hate white space in my sketchbook, so every little small white bits I just like to fill in with like random shapes and doodles, and obviously stars. So that's what I'm just doing here. I just think it looks really cute, and again ends up looking like a little character sheet, I guess. that was it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me just chit chat for half an hour. I really hope you guys had a good time. If you guys were drawing along with me, let me know. Do check out my online shop if you like, and buy some goodies if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.